To Arvind Bulal, who is the Mauritius Foreign Minister, and he's in exclusive conversation with our policy editor, Supriya Shinate.
Dr. Arvind Bulal, the Foreign Minister of Mauritius, is here with us. Too many tax issues to discuss, but of course his country has been one of the biggest investment destinations for India. So let's begin talking to him. Thanks very much for speaking to us. There have been a lot of tax concerns that have been raised in Union Budget 2012. A lot of it has made global investors jittery. How concerned are you about the tax proposals that have been made?
Well, as you said, they are tax proposals, okay? We are here, of course, to address issues of concern to both countries. We have an excellent treaty with India. Some concerns have been expressed. We are going to address them at the next joint working group, which is going to be held in Port Bliss on the 22nd. Having said so, of course, I have listed, in the press conference, a series and host of measures taken by the Mauritian authorities in response to the needs of the Indian authorities. So much have been done. Some issues remain to be resolved, but we want to conclude and we want to see to it that the uncertainty doesn't prevail.
There's something specifically I want to speak to you about, and these are draft guidelines that have been released for GAAR. It almost seems as if Mauritius is being singled out. There are other destinations that are also considered tax haven, but why is it that Mauritius' name keeps coming up in a context that perhaps doesn't excite you too much?
Well, let me make it quite clear. We are low tax jurisdiction and not a tax haven. That's one. And two, this is GAAR is a domestic issue that has to be resolved internally, domestically. And I know that it is still draft, and of course the authorities are yet to pronounce themselves. But when you listen to experts, they will say that, I'm not the one who's saying, but they're saying that it's almost like having a bull in a china shop.
When you say it's a bull in a china shop, do you believe this could make global investors jittery?
That's what the experts are saying.
All right, let's give it to the experts.
That's what the experts are saying. What we want, and I think what Mauritius, what India, what the world wants, is to ensure that world trade, gain its momentum, that international trade is not stalled, that countries do not adopt protectionist measures, that the G20 assume it live up to its obligations. Yes. What we want is that foreign direct investment. We want each other's currency to be stable.
That's right.
We want to improve the purchasing power of people, for that matter, anywhere in the world. So I think all the appropriate measures.
We appreciate the fact that 40% of investment in India comes through Mauritius, and that's a substantial investment that comes through. Which is why I'm going to ask you this question: that under Circular 789, a tax residency certificate will perhaps not be enough. There have been other proposals that have been put in place, which will perhaps make it a little difficult for investors to route their investments through Mauritius. How concerned are you about that? And are you going to take this up with the government?
When you talk of 789. There is a landmark judgment which highlights the merits of this circular. And I don't have to highlight also, this tax resident certificate that is being issued on an annual basis. And the conditionalities applied for the issuance of this tax resident certificate. So what we are saying is that the sooner we conclude on issues which are concerns, to both parties, the better, because it will be to the interest and in the interest of both parties that this tax treaty, which has, as you said, enabled India to have up to 40% of foreign direct investment, that the jurisdiction is there, to the mutual benefits of both countries.